Well, it's Sunday afternoon here at the Hotel Orloff. They are predicting some horrific 10-inch snow tomorrow or something like that. But it should be all right. Well, I've become aware that today is not only Buck Rogers' birthday, January 7th, but it's Flash Gordon's birthday. The Buck Rogers comic strip premiered in newspapers January 7th, 1929, and the Flash Gordon comic strip premiered January 7th, 1934. So I didn't realize their birthdays were on the same day. Um, let's see. Buck Rogers, was started as a story in a pulp magazine by William Francis Nolan, and then he created the comic strip and got, I believe, the first artist, I think best known artist on Buck Rogers was named Dick Calkins. And I'm looking here at these books because I know I have a Buck Rogers collection. Where is that? Oh, here it is. Let's take it in the other room and look at it. My tripod broke that I use to film this television show. It was a gift from Captain Strangelife, and one of the legs broke off it. I'm gonna have to like tape it back on or something. I'll figure out a way to do that. Anyway, we're gonna look at some movies. I think I promised people that we'd look at some more DVDs. But anyway, this is a collection of Buck Rogers comic strips. There are a lot of these big, fancy coffee table books that came out in the 1970s because in the 1970s there was a big wave of nostalgia for the 1930s because the people that were kids in the 1930s were, I guess they would probably have been in their 40s and at their maximum earning potential and had money and remembering their childhood. So they put out books like this. There were a bunch put out also about Flash Gordon. You used to be able to get them pretty cheap. See, it said I bought this for $7.50. It has this one has an introduction by Ray Bradbury. But this shows different. Yeah, this shows Phil Nolan's letterhead. But it started as a black and white daily strip. It didn't start getting Sunday color strips for a few years. But anyway, it was a pulp story first in 1928, and then he turned it into a comic strip. Flash Gordon came along because King Features wanted to have their own Buck Rogers, and they got Alex Raymond to create a comic strip, and it was to a certain extent based on When Worlds Collide, the original story years before the movie When Worlds Collide. Because When Worlds Collide, there's a athletic hero and a girlfriend and a scientist that are trying to stop this, their planet from hitting Earth, whatever. But anyway, this is what was the exact year this book came out? It's this says 1977. Really? Okay, that was towards the end of that wave of nostalgia. This book. Let's go back in the other room and I was wanting to. There's a couple of things I wanted to do in here today. Then we can go look at DVDs, I guess. Yeah, if this big snowstorm hits, I'll certainly film it and broadcast it here on the Gratu Orloff Inspirational Network. Hold on. And then here I've got some of these. Oh, here's some more movies. We were looking at movies yesterday. Ziegfeld Girl and the Great Ziegfeld. I need to put these somewhere. These were actually my wife's. She was on. Well, she still is on this big Ziegfeld kick, where wanting to watch all the movies about Ziegfeld, and she got some of them. Right now we're having, well, these aren't times of great amounts of money. Well, but things will get better, possibly. I think things are going to be wonderful in 2024. Anyway, here's Flash Gordon in the Planet Mongo. So, these books were really well done. There's Alex Raymond. Now, Alex Raymond was the guy that started everything. I mean, he's the guy that inspired Jack Kirby, and all comic book art, superhero art, goes back to Alex Raymond and Hal Foster with Prince Valiant. That's who all the artists that we all admire. This is the guy they all looked up to. And wow, this is such a, what is 1974, huh? Yeah. Well, it's unless you've seen, I mean, this artwork is just so majestic. And anyway, so Flash Gordon, Buck Rogers, David Soul. On a completely different note, David Soul, Hutch on Starsky and Hutch, apparently passed away a few days ago, but it just got, I guess the news just got out today. He was living in England. I think he'd become a British citizen. Anyway, Starsky and Hutch was one of those shows that I always knew was a great show. Everyone loved it, but I never watched it. I don't know why I didn't watch it. Could it have been that it was on after my bedtime? I'm not sure. It's real hard to put this book back in while I'm holding a phone. Hold on, ladies and gentlemen. And, yeah, anyway, Flash Gordon's a great deal. Buck Rogers. Now, Flash Gordon is better remembered. Buck Rogers was first, and then Flash Gordon was done. Actually, the King Features was negotiating with Edgar Rice Burroughs to do a John Carter comic strip, and those negotiations kind of fell apart, so they got Alex Raymond to create Flash Gordon. And Flash Gordon was definitely, another weird thing, Buck Rogers was played by Buster Crabbe on the movie screen, and Flash Gordon was played by Buster Crabbe, but Flash Gordon was done much better, and yeah, so anyway, look at this. I've got a reprint of this. I don't have the original edition. I'm just going through. I have this S box out. This is Special Marvel Edition. I was looking at The Amazing Spider-Man because I was reading all these people are wringing their hands about the CGC scandal, where there's or people have either, I don't know if people have figured out how to open up the CGC shell and swap out books of lesser grade, or if they're sending them back to CGC to have them reholdered with different books, whatever. But a lot of the ones that are being sent back, or that are, people are they anyway. CGC put out a list of 350 comics that they know have been part of this scam, and I was seeing a lot of them were Hulk 181 or issues of Amazing Spider-Man, and I was like, do I have that issue of Amazing Spider-Man? Because I remember the 1970s of Amazing Spider-Man, and then the 80s, things got spottier, and the comic wasn't as good, in my opinion, and I didn't buy it like every month, but I did get certain key issues, and I don't know. And I'm not really aware which ones are the key issues, and I don't really keep up with all of that. I kind of was disenchanted when they, oh, this is one that I think was part of that scam. People, this is a sought-after issue, and I bought it when it came out, but I wasn't happy about that black suit. I don't like change. I like Spider-Man the way he was. Is there anything else in here in this box of interest? Oh, look at this. It's Skeleton Warriors. That's got to be very valuable. Oh, my childhood copy of Skull the Slayer #1 is not bagged and boarded. This was a comic that did not last very long, but it's certainly cool. I'll put it in this. This. Hold on. No, I won't. Well, maybe I'll put it in this one, because that was a Golden Age bag and board that will not fit into this box, because they don't make comic boxes wide enough. A lot of the comic boxes are not wide enough to fit Golden Age bags and boards. Or Golden Age. I've divided the Golden Age to the Roosevelt Age, the Truman Age, and but that's just how we do it here on the Garage Orloff network. We're changing collecting. Okay, wait, Skull the Slayer's not in the right place, man. HIJK. What? Why is special? Oh, because that's special Marvel feature. Oh, never mind. I was thinking it should. Never mind. Okay. Skull the Slayer #1. Ooh. And then I don't have Skull the Slayer #2, but I have #3. I may need to get Skull the Slayer #2. Yeah, definitely. That's 4. I think that's the whole run. It shouldn't be hard to find a Skull the Slayer number. Do I have a pen in my pocket? Yes. Put Spider-Man. Anyway, how about that, ladies and gentlemen? Yeah, I wonder what's going to happen with the snow. Let's see. I discovered. Okay, well, I'm seeing if there's any key issues here. Oh. Isn't this the first Silver Sable? I think it is. Because I think they reprinted this. Yeah, I've got 2 copies of it. Yeah, and then I've got this reprint, or because Silver Sable, I thought that was a cool comic. That was one of the comics that I would buy in the 90s. I'd buy Silver Sable, and I'd buy the Catwoman comic and the Spider Girl comic, but now everyone's forgotten Silver Sable. See if there's anything else that's a key issue for those key issue people. Oh boy. I never, I guess this is from the Todd McFarlane era. I was not really buying the comic at that time period. All right. Where is Peter Parker, the Spectacular Spider-Man? Web of Spider-Man. Here's the first of the ongoing Spider-Woman series. I bought that at Kmart. I have a memory of buying it. Then I didn't come back again until issue 5. Oh, that's a nice cover. Oh, I know why. It's Ernie Chan. At least Ernie Chan did the inks on it. That's why it has that wonderful look. Okay, wonderful. Yeah, great. Fantastic. Who cares? So, comic books that everybody has that it's not rare at all. No one cares. Not interesting. Except for these slabbing people that are new to the hobby because I guess the baseball card market dried up, so they came into comic books. They're looking for things to slab, and they get all excited when they find these later period Spider-Man comics that aren't really rare at all. But oh well, I'll let them go on in their delusion of grandeur. I wanted to, oh man, am I fat? Every time I see that, it's horrifying. What I wanted to look for is, where are the Batman comics? There they are. Well, there's a Batman comic that I have several copies of that I think is sought after by people. It's these books are here because I was showing them to the 4-color fossils. That's why they're here. I gotta move this stuff. Anyway, it's Batman cover with Todd McFarlane, where Batman's all, his cape is like the size of a football field. And it's kind of predates, what he would later do with Spawn, right? So it's I looked it up on mycomicshop.com. It looks like the newsstand edition is not worth as much as the direct edition one. So it must be at that time period there were less direct distribute, because later it's the newsstand versions that are worth more. But then there's also a reprint. The next year they reprinted the this Todd McFarlane cover, and I want to check and see if I have the original or the reprint. So I'm going to do that now. And because that's something I've been meaning to do. So I'll move this Planet of the Apes Halloween costume from my childhood, and we'll do that. So, man, I wish this, if I could find some tape, I could fix this tripod. Oh my gosh. So anyway, how have you guys been doing? Wonderful. Oh, this is not going to be good. No, that won't work. All right. Whoa. See, two-legged tripod doesn't work too well, man. As if this show could get any more low rent. Okay, so this one, this is gonna mess up my back. Action to All-Star. Is there anything you want to see in this box? Can't be. There's no comics before Action in the alphabet. This is all my Bronze Age. I'm sorry, my late Nixon age and up stuff that's on this wall here. Action Comics, Adventure. Oh, that might be fun to look at the Adventure Comics. Look at this. They apparently made a Funko Pop of the Black Orchid, and Shannon was showing that on his on their comic book memories show a couple of weeks ago. Oh, I have 2 copies of that issue. I thought this character was great. Everyone else seems to hate her. Well, not Shannon. I mean, it's just such a cool design. And there's all kinds of great stuff in Adventure. I get sidetracked. There's... Oh, I hate looking at this, man. Because my All-Star comic, it will never reappear. I keep thinking if I look here again, maybe All-Star Comics 58 will reappear. This is the one I bought in 5th grade of 59, but I had a 58 and it disappeared. And so things just don't disappear. So I'm starting to have to reevaluate. No. I just can't think of anyone that would have been in my... I don't know. Why that one comic? I mean, it's the first appearance of Power Girl, but... I just keep thinking, maybe it's somewhere, just miss... Okay, here's All-Star to Avengers. So Batman should be in the next box. All-Star Squadron, Amazing Adventures, cool. Lots of Avengers comics. It's going to be probably one more box down because it's a late period Batman. Avengers. Vengeance. Oh. Let's see. My earliest Bronze Age, late Nixon age Batman would be this one. 244. 250. Whoa! Shite. 252. These need backing boards. I'm afraid I just gave this a. This already had these spine ticks. I was afraid I'd just damaged it. I need to be careful. Not like you guys even care about looking at these comics. Alright, enough of that. Okay, yeah, right. What is this? $358. That McFarlane is in the 300s, is it? I just don't know what number it is. It's like around 1988. This is 84. Okay. I like doing this show, but I'm just sort of, I don't know what else to show. And okay, Batman. What is the number, man? Batman year 3. This is 440. It's in the maybe it's in the 400s, is it? What year is this? Can't even read that. Oh, here it is. September of 1988. So apparently you can tell by opening it up and looking at the ad that's on the back cover. And there's an ad for TSR role-playing games. So I think that would make this an original copy. Because they say what they did is they reprinted these 1988 Batman comics the next year in 1989 and sold them in 3-packs, like in toy stores. And they said the reprints say copyright 1989 on the ad on the back, and it wasn't a TSR ad. That was like for some video game or something. So, but this is the lower valued newsstand edition, but it looks like I also have I used to get these things in the dollar bin all the time, and this one's not in the best shape. And I guess I picked it. I would pick it up just because it looked so unique. Yeah, this is an original one too, also. the artwork inside is very pedestrian. It's not who does the interior art. Well, it's Dave Cockrum, penciler, Mike DiCarlo, inker. I mean, it's not. It's not terrible, but it's not Bernie Wrightson or Mike Plug or some of the great people. He's fighting some punk rockers here. It's the cover that is and apparently the direct edition is more valuable from what I can see in the listings on mycomicshop.com. But why isn't it that you can tell if it's a reprint by... Why do you have to look at the back cover? Seems like you'd be able to tell by that whether it's the reprint from the next year or not. But they say you got to look at the back. This one is also TSR. So I've got... Looks like I might have 4 of these. If something like this is worth hundreds and hundreds, I don't know, slabbed, these things go for a lot of money, and these are in really good shape. I might be able to part with one if one of you is really in the need for these things, because I sure it's kind of, you can't eat these things, although I could try. Some barbecue sauce. Yeah, this is original also. Whatever, dude. It's just such a great comic. It makes me want to cry. So I guess they're all originals. So I asked Kevin Johnson at Gotham City Comics the other day about what do these things go for, and he says, well, it depends on if they're originals. So these are originals. So now I know the rest of the story. Oh, did you see how Trump trolled everybody? He's in Iowa. The Iowa caucus is coming up on the 15th. And so there's a famous Paul Harvey recording he did back on radio back in the 60s. And it's God sent a farmer. And it's like, and on the 8th day, God looked down on his creation and needed a caretaker, so God sent a farmer. And it's just all this really cool thing about how great farmers are, right? And so he redid it with someone, either they used AI or something to recreate Paul Harvey's voice, and instead of God sent a farmer, it's God sent Trump. And it's hilarious, and and really, it's all true, but it's really upset. They're saying, because last week they were saying he's going to be a dictator on day one. Now they're saying he thinks he's the Messiah, and he's been playing it before his appearances to people in Iowa. A lot of them are farmers, and it's brilliant in my opinion. Okay. So. Wonderful. Oh, Batman. Oh, I've got to put some Batman families in here. I forgot. This is actually, I have all these books over here that need to be filed, so it's actually good that I opened up this box. I recently got some Batman families. Watch them all be issues I already have, but didn't realize it. It's usually the way it goes. Let's see here. Here they are. Okay. Fantastic. And there's this modern comic here of Batgirl that I got just because I like Darwin Cook's art. when he was doing these sideways covers, boy, that was a big loss when Darwin Cook passed away. What a great artist. So I need to follow that. Okay, so I've got some Batman families, number 14, 15, and 16 to file. And then I guess we'll go look at DVDs. What the heck? I don't have Batman Family number 1. I need to get that. This is great. You know, it's reprints. It's just fantastic. Batman Family number 2. Ooh, I don't. And then it looks like I'm missing 3, so I have 4. That's a Christmas cover that nobody ever shows on the Christmas shows, as far as I know. Here's Batman Family number 5. Another 5. You don't need to see that again. Missing 6. Here's 2 copies of 7. What do we got here? Oh, number 8. Oh, this is nice. This one I bought off the newsstand when I was a kid. This is a wonderful Catwoman cover done by one of my favorite artists, Ernie Chua, also known as Ernie Chan. So that's 8, 9, 10, 11, and then I don't have anything till 19, one of the dollar comics. So these are comics that I needed. So I have 11, so now I have 14, so I need 12 and 13. 14, 15, and 16. Okay. Damn it. Okay, so Batgirl will probably be in this box. Avengers. Batgirl number 37. New 52. There are these horrible looking comics. Like, what is this and why do I own it? I must have... It looks horrible. Is that the same run? 26. What? Yeah, I guess this is the... Here, 34. And so I guess... If all comics looked like that, like... There's got to be artists like that. There's got to be more people like Darwin Cook out there. That's who they need to be recruiting. Artists that can really draw. I wonder what Batman Family number 1 looks like. I need to look that up on my comic shop. Okay, so oh, I know what we need to do. You want them to look at movies. Let me turn off the lights in here. So I have a DVD player feeding into this old Omega brand quadraphonic stereo with 8-track. And so I gotta turn it off, turn that off, turn this off, and then I'll turn off this power strip, and that should be all the lights in here. Oh, I'm gonna take these Star Trek model kits downstairs, and this too. When I showed you all the Blu-rays in the last episode, you probably noticed there weren't any superhero movies because I got them all in a separate thing downstairs in the basement. But wow, I've been so it was so exciting. All the superhero movies coming out there for a while, and then they all got bad. So. My legs aren't moving too well. Got early rigor mortis setting in. All right, so we're heading down to the basement. So, with our new additions to the basement. Whoa. Oh, I need a chair to sit in down here. There's one in the elevator. Let me bring the elevator down so I can have somewhere to sit and show you some of these movies that you've been requesting to see. Okay. My plan. Hold on. Is to put these here. See how this looks. Alright, well, I have this display that I thought I'd put some Star Trek model kits here. So, gotta hang this Green Lantern plaque up. So, we're in the basement. This is the painting that was done by that homeless gentleman. He sold this to me about the same time I got that CGC. I'm blocking the light. I got that CGC Frankenstein. Okay. You've got that smile. Let's get that chair. And then I'll show you those discs, and then we'll go in here, and here's where a lot of the DVDs are. So we'll spend some time in here as well. Oh, I've got a place to sit in here, actually. Okay. Whew. So, how's your Sunday going, man? You guys having lots of snowstorms where you're at? So I'll open this up. This is where the elevator is. I need to bring the elevator down. It's having some trouble. That's not good. Hold on a second. Oh yeah, I closed the door.
Displayed throughout the mall. Be sure to register to win the money-free shopping spree. Coupons in all 100 stores. Make your shopping day special. See the circus and register for the shopping spree at North Shore, routes 128 and 114.
May I help you? May we help you? Yes, ma'am. The store you want is right over there.
Okay. All right. Where do I put the camera? Oh, it's a little cold down here. I didn't realize how cold it was down here, man.
This Wednesday, the Wausau Center Mall opens with a
Yeah, a tripod with two legs is like a day without sunshine, ladies and gentlemen.
a fun place to shop. You'll find the things you like for the people you love in a bright, new atmosphere that will make your spirits soar. Get carried away. Grand opening is this Wednesday at the Wausau Center Mall.
Oh, I got all kinds of stuff here. Oh, this is the remake of Night of Living Dead. This is a colorized version of Night of Living Dead. I'm going backwards. This is a Millennium edition of Night of Living Dead. And this is the original version of Night of Living Dead. Here's the original Wonder Woman that was actually good. What? I have the Dogville comedies? I didn't know I had this. I didn't know this existed. But apparently, I was looking for these for years. And then it looks like at some point I got it. The Dogville. They're made by... man. If you like the Three Stooges, it's the, what is the direct? Jules White, the director of a lot of the Three Stooges comedies, and Zion Myers did these comedies with dogs, and the dogs all walk around on two legs, and they're hilarious. But I don't know how badly, if the dogs were on wires or how comfortable the dogs were while they were making them, but the dogs all talk and everything. They're great. I didn't know I had that. Now I've got some I'm going backwards. X-Men cartoons. There's more X-Men cartoons. Here's Spider-Man 1967 collection of cartoons. I don't know what you want. I've got the 3 original Spider-Man movies on Blu-ray here. I've got a combination of Blu-ray and this is X-Men Days of Future Past on Blu-ray. It's some special edition maybe from something. But the problem is you'd buy everything on DVD, and then you'd have to buy it again on Blu-ray. And then they put it on 4K, but I never upgraded to 4K. There's X-Men First Class, which was a really good movie. First Deadpool. I thought I had the second Deadpool. Where is that? Oh, here it is. It's out of order. Yeah, here it is. It should be after the other one. I've got the good X-Men movies, X2. I think I've even got the bad ones, X3, whatever it was called. This is a Planet Hulk cartoon that I don't think I've watched yet, even though I've had it probably 10 years. Oh, and then I got this. This is, I don't know why I own Next Avengers. It's some kiddie thing. There's some kind of Hulk versus Wolverine, Hulk versus Thor. It's another cartoon. There's Logan. The Wolverine is good. The movie that's called Wolverine, I think Origins, is not good and not even worth your time. This is Days of Future Past. It's the Rogue cut where Rogue is in it. Then a ton of X-Men cartoons, Guardians of the Galaxy, Captain America. I got all the early Marvel movies and DC. You don't need to see all that. I'm trying to show you, see what I can show you here. Here's Comic Book Confidential. This is a very good documentary from the 80s on the history of comic books. Here's Hollywood Screen Tests. So this is where you get to see, screen tests for Batman and for all these different TV shows and movies. Bunch of John Waters movies, Batman, Mask of the Phantasm. There's Justice Society, World War II. I got too much stuff to show you all of it. This is a cool thing. It's in the last few years, it has the voices of the original cast of the TV show, and it's an animated movie called Return of the Caped Crusaders. There's another one that should be right next to it where William Shatner plays Two-Face, and I don't see that. It's out of order. This was the 1994-95 animated series of Fantastic Four. The first season wasn't worth your time. The second season, they redid it, and made it like the 60s comic, and it is worth your time. Oh, speaking of Flash Gordon, here's the Flash Gordon collection. Oh, well. Oh, here it is. Batman versus Two-Face, with William Shatner doing the voice. It would have been cool had William Shatner actually, well, he was busy doing Star Trek at the time, but if he was allowed to, go over there and film an occasional episode for the 1966 TV show, he would have been a great Two-Face. And Jack Nicholson, as a young actor, would have been a great Joker, but Cesar Romero, I'm not knocking Cesar Romero. Had there been no Cesar Romero, the young Nicholson would have been much better than the older Nicholson in the late 80s. Let's see, where was this? Where was this? Yeah, there we go. I'm reorganizing. This is, as I recall, this is just like panels from the comic book, animated a little bit, kind of like they did in the 60s for the Marvel Superheroes cartoon. Excuse me, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, and here's the Flash Gordon animated series. And other versions of Flash Gordon. And I'll show you some stuff that's more interesting. This is like a bootleg disc that I got at a hot rod show, at like the Good Guys show or something. Sometimes there'll be people with DVDs selling DVDs, and there'll be cool. It's like drag racing history, 1967 and 1969 U.S. Nationals. So it'd be a way to watch old drag racing from the old days. One of the most influential hot rod films of the 1950s, The Cool Hot Rod. These are not official discs. These aren't things you could order from Amazon. You probably need to find them at a car show or know someone that owns the disc and they can make copies. I mean, those are probably public domain. I could make a copy for you, if you send me a few dollars for postage or something. Here's Jamboree. This is a rock and roll movie. Has Jerry Lee Lewis, Buddy Knox, Jimmy Bowen, Fats Domino. Anyway. It looks like this is hot rod stuff, and then down here it's rock and roll stuff. Is comic books, hot rods, rock and roll, all part of the same culture. What is this here? The Texas Chainsaw Massacre, a family portrait revisited. This is like making of footage from the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Some Godzilla stuff. You know all the Godzilla movies. Here's the super robot Red Baron. I like live action Japanese superhero fighting monster stuff. Here's the Mysterians. The Kinks compilation. Oh, this is not an official release. This was a bootleg thing. Women of Rockabilly. Man, this is still sealed. I guess I need to break the seal at some point. The Best of the Johnny Cash Show. Again, this, you can tell this is not an official release. here. Godzilla raids again. I think this is when they released the original Japanese cuts, Invasion of the Astro Monster, in Japanese, you know, with English subtitles. So why is rock and roll mixed up with Japanese monsters? Because I haven't organized this stuff yet after the move. This is Lady Snowblood. These Lady Snowblood movies are, I think, one of the main inspirations for the Xena Warrior Princess TV show. Here's volumes 2 and 3 of Kakaida. It's a Japanese superhero. He's like a robot guy. These are just a lot of fun to watch, and as I recall, they have subtitles, English subtitles. Uncensored animation. A lot of the animation before 1933 were pretty crazy in what they would show you. It's like people talk about pre-code comic books, because in the early part of 55 they started the Comics Code Authority. Well, in 1933 they did that with the movie industry. That's when the Hays Code started, the Hays office. Well, they'd have to look at each movie before it was released and make sure it met certain criteria. And cartoons, that's when Betty Boop went from having the short skirt to pants. You know, they cleaned a lot of things up, and that's why King Kong came out in 1933, and I think it was in 34, yeah, that the Hays Code came in. So when King Kong was released later, they had to cut things out of it until the early 70s. They put some of that footage back in. The King Kong you see now is the uncut version, but for many decades you couldn't see it. I've got tons of these vintage 1930s cartoon collections. You probably want to see them all. It's just, why am I not showing you all of them? Because my back hurts. It sounds like a great thing. I can't wait to get down there and show them all my stuff, and then I come down here and I'm miserable. Yeah, whatever. Cartoon commercials. This is a good company. This is from Thunder Bean. Yeah, Thunder Bean. Look up Thunder Bean. That's probably on Amazon. You can get collections from Thunder Bean. You'll have cool stuff. What is this stuff down here, man? Oh, look, it's a whole box set of the Astro Boy series. How about that? And then, what is this? Oh, this is season 1 of Star Trek on DVD. And these are not going to be the ones that are messed up with the CGI. And this is season 2. So now you get lazy and you just put on Paramount Plus and watch Star Trek, you know, and it's going to be, they'll show you the altered versions. I think I saw that I had Blu-ray season 1. That means I don't have season 3 in any format, and that's something that needs to be corrected. Here's High School Confidential. That's a great movie with Jerry Lee Lewis, Mamie Van Doren, and all that. Here's The High and the Mighty with John Wayne. I should put all the John Wayne movies together. I'll put it up here. That was one thing I was wanting to do, is pull all my John Wayne movies. Here's a drive-in double feature. And in between they have the drive-in intermission things, like you're hearing this music that's from a classic Well, it was used in a classic drive-in intermission where the food and candy is all dancing and soft drinks. This has that original dancing video that normal people know it because you see it in the background of the movie Grease when John Travolta's singing at the drive-in. Here's the robot versus the Aztec mummy. Great cinema. What is this? Vampire Girl versus Frankenstein.